How y'all doing out there in video land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Well, I just want to do a little discussion video. Discussion video on some of the OG goat patterns I like the best. And that's the OG one, people. And as you can see, I do like it the best because I've repeated it over and over again. The first one I got it in was this one. This is one of the first big knives I modified from original goat. I had previously done 80-20.5s, but the next one I got was the 80-20S model, and this was one of the first ones I got. It's one of the first knives I modified. That's a Demco knife, 80-20S. And yes, it has skiffs. Has skiffs. This is the D2, K110 D2 blade, Austrian D2. These are the original goat OG1 scales for the 80-20S model. It has the original goat jump backspacer with skiffs inside, skiff bearings. The bearing size is 1 millimeter thick by 22 ceramic ball bearings and milled phosphorus bronze cages. It's the exact same size that you use for the 80-20.5 with the big pivots. The big pivot 80-20.5s and the 80-20S models use the same bearings. Next one up was this one. This is an awesome kit because it really transformed this knife into a new knife. Because these knives, before I transformed it, were just okay to me. But once it got transformed, it became one of my top 5. All-time top 5. Absolutely love it. Yes, it has the skiffs in it. This is a skiff OG1 kit that includes skiff bearings in it. These are the OG1. I bought them. All these were bought in the buff form. That means unpolished at all. And this one I polished out, lightly polished this part, and then I wet sanded these areas and polished them. I did the same thing on this one too, but it's just old. It's like 4 or 5 years ago, whenever these, about a year after, I got the S model, I think, the year after they came out. First year I couldn't get one. I was trying to get one, I couldn't get one. I absolutely love the Engage 3.5-inch blade Engage with the Atlas lock. It's one of my favorite knives. I think it's the absolute smoothest knife that I've ever owned. I don't think I've ever owned a knife that's smooth, that operates smoother than this one. Now, I'm not talking about a stock one. I'm talking about one like this. One like this with the original goat kit. This is the aluminum kit. I also have the titanium one. That one's super smooth too. I have 3 of these. One's purple, and this is the one I usually use the most, right here. And the other one's the titanium kit with the Tonto Engage blade. That one I don't really use that much. It's heavy. I'd rather carry one of these that's a lot lighter. Absolutely love it, people. The Engage is an awesome knife. If you ask me, it's one of the best. I love the Atlas lock. To me, the Atlas lock is like an easy to use triad lock, or should I say a mid lock. If you're used to using triad folders, you'll enjoy the Engage Atlas lock because it's like a triad lock that's easy to use. See, I'm doing all these things I'm doing right here. You could do with a triad folder too. It's just harder to do, and it takes a lot more skill. But this one doesn't take any skill. It just takes effort and the ability to do things without being afraid of getting cut. Because once you get used to getting cut all the time, then it's no big deal no more. Then you lose your fear of it, and then you get more reckless with knives, and you can do crazier looking stunts with them. I'm being honest. I've been cut a million times. All right. There's a cut right there. All right, here we go. This one right here, I must admit, since I've been modifying these 8010s, it stepped right up in there. I don't know where it is, but it's definitely one of my all-time favorites. And this is one of my all-time favorite triad folders for the way that it functions. For the way, you gotta hear me, for the way that it functions. This one functions super easily. And I don't know why, but this one with the Oz 10A blade as opposed to the CPM S35VM blade with the heat-treated aluminum backspacer. This one has a Grivex. The Oz 10 one comes with the Grivex backspacer. The Oz 10 one's it's a light model. So it's considered to be like the budget model. And so instead of giving you a nice aluminum backspacer, they give you a Grivex backspacer. But you know what? This has a G10 backspacer, not too much different than a Grivex, so you know. But this actually does support part of the lock. But it actually makes this one super easy to use. I don't know what it is, but it's like super easy. It functions super easily, people. And this knife is tight. There's no blade play, no up and down, no nothing. And it's running on phosphor bronze washers with Teflon washers. You know, just like the way that they come from cold steel. Nothing's been modified in it. It's a totally stock knife, you know, except for, you know, I changed the scale parts on it. But even the scale parts are totally stock. They're not polished or anything. And this knife is super, 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 super smooth. That's all I can say about it. I love it. And I love the way my, fancier one looks. My fancier one. I love the way this one looks, but I can't operate it like this one. This one operates just like a regular, triad folder. And I think maybe the spring tension or something that it might be the spring tension that they use on these, or maybe the Grivex flexes just a little bit or something. I don't know what it is, but this one's a joy to use. It's a joy to fidget with. It doesn't hurt your fingers. Your fingers don't get sore or nothing. I can't explain it, people. I put it up here with the fidgeters because I could one hand fidget with this one all day long. And all these knives are very ambidextrous. I could use them all day long with with both hands. Excellent knives. That fail was on me. Excellent knives. I'm not as good with my left hand, people. This is why I like the Demko knife so much. The shark lock to me is like the best lock there is. I love the Atlas lock, love the Triad lock. All three of these are like my top 3 favorite locks. All 3 of these are knives that I would consider safe to use for self-defense folders, because I think all of these are very good locks, very strong builds. They're not just fidgeting knives. They're great for utility. They're great for self-defense. They're great all-around knives, and they don't fall apart. So I highly recommend the 8020S model, any of the 8020 Shark Lock, any of the Shark Lock folders, should I say, I would highly recommend, because every Shark Lock folder I had has been outstanding. I recommend the Atlas lock, and the Atlas lock folders that are smaller than this, I think are kind of too small for this type of lock type, for a med lock. If you want to operate it from, comfortably like I like to operate them, like, you like to fidget a lot, you really want a little bit bigger. I would really like to see one of these like with a 4-inch blade. Stay tuned. And this one right here, oh man, this is just perfect. This is a perfect knife. It's got a lock type on it that I trust more than any other lock on the planet. I trust a Triad lock more than any other lock on the planet. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if anybody says that their lock is stronger. I still trust this one, because I've been through all sorts of stuff with Triad locks. I put them through all kinds of stuff, wood crafting, and doing extra heavy duty type tasks, and working on motorcycles and in the garage and mechanical parts and stuff like that. These locks are awesome, people. They don't fall apart. They don't get weak. They self-adjust. They don't, it's just It's a genius. And, you know, and Andrew Dimko took the regular lock back that Buck Knives created and improved on it. Made it something really special. Nothing's better than that than Triad Lock, people. Triad Lock rocks. That's about all I got to say today. Peace out, Stiletto. Hope everybody's doing good out there.